Reports suggest that Antonio Conte has agreed to the Manchester United job and wants to start as soon as possible. Tonight on the Bet Victor Top Six show, we are going to delve into more detail about Antonio Conte. Is he right for the Manchester United job? On top of that, this weekend, El Sacico is upon us. Tottenham versus Manchester United. Nuno under pressure from Spurs fans. Of course, Gunnar Solskjaer wanted out by the vast majority of Manchester United supporters. We're also going to take a look ahead of Leicester versus Arsenal, have a little touch on AFCON as well, and ask this question today: is winning trophies the most important thing to you and your club, or is it just about playing nice football? Lots to delve into today on the top six. Make sure you've smashed that like button. Brilliant panel coming up as well. Make sure you click on the link. If you're watching this and you're deliberating whether to stay with us, it's going to be an amazing show. So click on the link now, watch the Football Terrace, subscribe and all that jazz. Let's do it. Good afternoon, everyone. How you all doing? We all good?
What's happening? What's happening? I'm good, man. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm okay. As a Man United fan, I'm all right. I'm okay. Thanks to everyone for asking. I've had a lot of text messages checking up on me, making sure I'm good. Honestly, I've had more contact from my family today than on my birthday. They're like, "You sure you're all right? You sure you're fine? Like you're all good?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm coping." How about yourself, NEEKS? Obviously a tough. I mean, you had it worse. You were literally on Don Robbie's show, surrounded by rival fans for that game. That must have been painful.
No, it wasn't easy at all. It wasn't easy. Like literally at the start of the show, I was like, well, actually, no, before we even started filming, I was like, just don't embarrass me in front of all these people. And they did exactly that. They embarrassed me in public. Like I should have taken them home and just beat them like a little picnic, a little child. Nah, it's been a bad week, man. And the Cricket World Cup, I thought, let me get away from football. West Indies ain't doing no better. Like, it's just been bad, man. I would say let's just look forward to the next game, but I don't know where the light at the end of the tunnel is. It's looking a long way away, isn't it? So, what can I say, man? What can I say?
Mate, I do hear you. And we'll, of course, delve into the Man United-Tottenham game a little bit later. El Sacico. First major talking point, and I do want to delve into the difference in these reports from the Italian media compared to the British media somewhat. But the reports this afternoon have come out across all socials. Antonio Conte is trending that he has said yes to and or agreed to the Manchester United job, and he wants to get in now. He's got a little bit of a shopping list of players that he would want, but actually stated by some of the Italian press that he's very excited about the plethora of talent at the club and he wants to get in now. I want to ask you, get your take on this, NEEKS, actually straight away as a United fan. One, do you believe a deal for a replacement is as far along as the Italian press are suggesting? And do you think Antonio Conte is the right man for the job?
Right now, it feels like anyone's the right man for the job. I'm hearing people send me names, be like, "Oh, what do you think about Roberto Martinez?" I'm like, brother, like, it's bad, but are we trying to make it better or not? Like, come on, let's be real. Antonio Conte is a real prospect. I think it's a real prospect, and it's one that doesn't surprise me because for me, Antonio Conte is what I would say is the easy selection. He's a manager who's experienced both in the Premier League, but just in generally in football, and he's available. You don't have to go for any negotiating in terms of release clauses, etc., paying X amount of money, which we know they don't already want to pay. And I think the reason why we're seeing all the reports we are is because he's twerking for the Man United job. Let's keep it real. He wants to manage Manchester United. And why wouldn't he? And I say why wouldn't he? Because at the start of the season, not just Man United fans, but rivals as well, said this squad is good enough to challenge for the league. So Antonio Conte at the start of the season, 5 games in, 10 games in, is still looking at it like this is a good squad. This is a damn good squad, and I can do something here. We know he considered going to Spurs, and he didn't join Spurs because the ambition that he wants is not the same as the owners. Now, based on the squad, forget the owners of Man United, based on the squad, this squad is good enough to match Antonio Conte's ambition. So, to be honest, he is twerking for the job. He wants the job, which is a good sign because it means that your team's in a position that a manager of his quality wants to take over, wants to take on that challenge. Is he the right man for the job? As you said, that's the real question. Not that our opinion matters to the Glazers, but what I would say is there's better men, or what I would say is better options out there for Manchester United. I think in the short term, he's probably the best man for the job. 18 months, he can probably get the most out of this squad, potentially win a major trophy, which we're all desperate for. My only fear for hiring a person like Antonio Conte is, where does he leave us after 2 years, 3 years max? History tells us we're going to get out of him. And I can't answer that question. I can't say that we're going to be in a strong, stable, or hopefully a better position once he's left than he's picking us up in. That's my only issue when it comes to Antonio Conte. There's certain young players like Jadon Sancho, potentially like Mason Greenwood, who maybe for the next 18 months, if he used to join, pretty much discarded to the wilderness because they don't suit the style that he wants to play or the experience of the type of play that he actually wants. So that's my only fear when it comes to Antonio Conte. I like playing good football, I like playing attractive football, but for me, results always comes first, and he's a man who does get results.
I hear that completely. I want to ask you, Patrick, because there was a time in the summer where Antonio Conte almost appeared to be a shoo-in for Tottenham. It was the tier one, as they call them, Tottenham press said practically done, over the line. What was the reaction like amongst Tottenham fans when you were linked with him? Was there excitement? Was there trepidation? How did you guys view him?
I was a bit worried at first because obviously we know what kind of manager Conte is. But then once I got used to the idea, I was excited, man. We know this guy's a serial winner. We know how good of a manager he is. He doesn't take any shit from the board or the players. And I was warming to the fact that if Conte comes in, we will see a much better Tottenham. But then as quick as, my dreams and ambitions and hopes were raised, they were shattered when we heard that Antonio Conte. Well, first of all, it was definite. Everyone was saying it was going to happen. And then within a day or so, we kept hearing different murmurs and rumblings that Antonio Conte wants the job, but this or that, or, stuff wasn't getting met. And then in the end, obviously, he didn't get the job. So we would have loved Antonio to come in. The fact, some of us were a bit, he managed Chelsea, so you don't really want a manager that used to manage Chelsea. But then when you look at the bigger picture, the guy's a serial winner. He won with Inter, who hadn't won in a long time. Obviously, when he stepped into the Chelsea job, yeah, they had a good squad, but he revitalized, the whole back five, back three type of thing. And if he could do the same at Tottenham, we would be going places. So for me, Antonio Conte is probably the best manager that you guys could get right now. And I know people are saying he might not be the best fit, but if you look at, like NEEKS is saying, when you look at the squad you have, because I still believe you guys have a good squad, and right now we're only 8-9 games in. There's still so much more football to play. So if you get the right manager in now, there's no doubt you guys can't challenge, even possibly win the league. But the change needs to happen now for you guys. So yeah, I think Conte is a top manager. I would have loved to have him at Tottenham. And if he does come into United, I will be really worried. I'll be scared because you guys have the squad, the players. You guys can do bits with the right manager.
You're shaking your head, Daniel.
Nah, look, I see it a bit differently. Obviously, first things first. Look, at the end of the day, no disrespect to Patrick and Tottenham, but Tottenham aren't involved in the rival club. You have to take what you get because you're not a winning club. It's not like when Chelsea had Rafa Benitez, and even though he won us the Europa League, like we didn't even care. Like we wanted him out because Liverpool, Chelsea, in terms of Champions League and everything that was said and the bad blood, when we were competing for the highest trophies, that was what was there. So Tottenham, really and truly, when it comes to Conte, for the large part as well, I would say the fan base wanted him as well. So for the people that didn't want him, they're just being very, very...
No, I think what I'm saying is that the opinions change quickly, because at first you're thinking, oh man, he managed Chelsea, and you don't really... Like, hold on, now, forget that. Conte is Conte. Doesn't matter, he managed Chelsea.
No,
he's a top manager. So,
of course, man, definitely. I mean, I'm talking for the small minority of Tottenham.
Yeah.
In terms of Conte to Man United, look, I just find it interesting, isn't it? Like, obviously, we've spoken about the Glazers, Terry, NEEKS, everyone's spoken about the Glazers and everything to do with them and how badly they run the club in terms of the structure, in terms of the plan. Are you hiring United DNA managers in terms of style of football, or are you hiring managers who will give you results but might not necessarily give you the good feeling? I mean, look, I mean, I spoke to a couple of United fans who said even though Mourinho left the club or the squad harmony in a bad shape, in terms of ammunition for a fan, they love the trophies that they were able to win at the time, because it means that there's something there for you to win. And obviously we're going to get onto that. And of course we understand in the long term and in the bigger picture, of course you don't want that. You don't want a manager who leaves your squad in disarray in terms of harmony and the players there. However, in terms of a fan, the things that you remember are the trophies. Do you know what I mean? You remember a lot of those good times in terms of when you won those trophies and whatnot. Obviously, United fans will always have a different opinion. I always will adhere to what your feelings are towards Mourinho. You're the ones who experienced it. But I just think when it comes to Conte and hiring a manager like him, he's everything that a lot of United fans over the course of the period that Alex Ferguson has been absent in terms of management. He's everything you don't want. Like in terms of the style of play. Now I'm seeing United fans doing think pieces on how attractive Conte is in terms of the way he plays his football. I'm seeing those think when the same United fans were telling us that we play boring football. So it's just going to be interesting. Of course,
Daniel, I think the term is down bad. Man United fans are down bad.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
And they're desperate.
Do you know what it is, though? You get that in everything, don't you? Because I'm pretty sure, and we'll take it away from United for a minute. I'm pretty sure if Sunderland or Middlesbrough were taken over by the new owners that Newcastle have got, some Newcastle fans had something derogatory to say about it in relation to what everyone's talking about. We all have a tendency to. I'm a bit like that with Antonio Conte. I look at him and I didn't want him because I wanted a different style. Nothing to do with winning. Winning is winning for me. I just wanted a manager that could win with a more beautiful style. But the more I think about it, Antonio Conte feels like the right man for me, because I believe he's either going to work so we're happy, or it's not going to work. But I think he's the kind of person that would expose the Glazers for what they are. I can already see it. NEEKS can already see what they're about. KJ sees it. But most Man United fans don't, or they don't focus on the real root cause of the problem. Ollie inners, when you shout about the Glazers, think you're having a go at the manager. Ollie outers, when you have a go at the Glazers, think you're defending Ollie. And I'm sort of like, I don't get how both groups miss it so badly. It's a matter. I think Antonio Conte could legit expose them.
But then the flip side to that is, I think it will give the people who don't focus on the Glazers even more ammunition, because Antonio Conte is someone who you'll see in who he buys in the transfer window. When it's all said and done, whether or not you win trophies or not, you'll have those people saying, but Conte wanted these players. Conte wanted this. Conte wanted. Look at what's happening now. I mean, sometimes Chelsea fans even forget about what we won under Conte, and the winning run we went under Conte, because of the players that he left us with. Like Conte, let me not even lie, I love the guy, innit? And obviously I will always appreciate the title he won for us. But we single-handedly had the worst ever transfer windows under him. Like, he single-handedly had the worst, because he buys players catered to his system. Not necessarily in terms of course, every single professional football player is quality, but in terms of quality that you think can last under different styles of managers, under different regimes. Bro, Conte doesn't care. He buys players for him and no one else.
And that's exactly my point. He may yield some success with that. He may not. But if Man United spend 3 years telling us we're building X and then go and do Y, there is no more debate. It should be clear. It should be as clear as crystal. As clear as crystal who has created the issues. People say, oh, but you spend loads. It's not about spending loads. It's about having a direction, a style, and then being able to take one manager out and bring in somebody else and not needing a big overhaul of the squad. So I kind of want Conte for a number of reasons, and some of them are to expose the Glazers. I wanted to ask you, Jess, about the news. In Italy, it seems to be he's gunning for the job. He's desperate for it. He's ready to go in now. The British press seems to have downplayed that a lot more with he might wait to the end of the season. There are other candidates involved. Why do you think there's such a differential in the stories?
I think it's a little bit of what NEEKS already said, that he wants the job. He probably sees it as an attractive, challenge. And the English media, who are more maybe reporting from a Man United side, need to keep the cards close to their chest. I think it's just that simple. I don't think you really want, maybe English press that are speaking for Man United to be saying everything that's happening behind closed doors. They're basically making it seem like, because now Man United fans don't really know what's going on. Is it, at one point I saw maybe it's Zidane. They're looking at different people. Maybe he'll come in at the end. Maybe he'll come in now. So I think it's just more a matter of the Italian press who are closer to Conte are pushing this, like, he's coming, he wants the job, he wants, you know, he does want it. But the English media is more like, let's protect what's going on behind scenes at Man United, because nobody really knows what's going on. And I still don't think that they're 100% sold on Conte for the reasons of, it would just look like they're going against everything that they said for the last 3 years. But the more that I think about it, I was thinking about it yesterday. I was like, what is Man United's like identity at this point? I don't really think there is a clear identity. I think there's a facade of one, but in reality, you guys have a bunch of really exciting stars and game changers in one team. And quite frankly, I think you could just do with a manager that can deal with those personalities and get a big trophy out of it.
Like, and that's a great point. If this whole building of a new culture under Oli is a fugazi, it wasn't really happening, then managers like Antonio Conte that just come in and do what needed for them are actually perfect. Yeah. Someone like a Ten Hag that needs a whole process behind him to make what he does work, they're no good, because they're never going to have the time to, or it's never going to be built for them. So actually, you need someone that can come in and go, right, I haven't quite got all the equipment that I want, but I can get a tune out of this. I can make it run. Do you get, not calling him a bodge job. He isn't like that. But I just think about things that I've seen him do with that Chelsea squad. And I'm getting, I don't know, there's part of me that just feels like more and more he could be the right guy. The problem is, what I think the Glazers are stalling on is, how are we going to work together with him? Because Jose turned his aggression on his squad, which isn't the right thing to do. Oli just takes it. David Moyes just took it and said nothing. I think Antonio Conte, someone's commented there saying, Terry, you said that Conte could walk out on Arsenal after 3 months. Would he do the same at Man United? Yeah, I think he could. I think he's the kind of person that could go in there, and if they say, right, we'll do this in January, and they don't deliver it, or they say, we're going to buy you Declan Rice, and he's like, great. And they go, actually, we were going to get you Declan Rice, but suddenly another Ronaldo is available and he's better for shirt sales. I think someone like Antonio Conte is walking out the door with his P45 whilst they're doing the shirt unveiling. That message for me, like that message for me, could be huge. For us to focus on the real problem. But Super Chat here says, I think Conte wants the king desperately. The board want to give Oli a chance to turn it around. I believe Man United really do not want to sack Oli. And everyone's in. Listen, it's a view we'll delve into definitely and touch on when we go into the preview a little bit later. I think that works in there. Viewers, we're getting close to 300 likes, which is absolutely amazing. So thank you. Devil's Advocate here says, can I make him a mod? Do you know what, Devil's Advocate? You've been a member a long time. Many super chats from you in the past as well. So I'm going to find you on here. I can't find your tweet now. And your comments. Right? I found you. There you go, my friend. You've been turned into a mod. You're all modded up now. Well done, you. Thank you very much for your support and your love and your care as well. I want to take a quick look at the odds, actually, on next Man United manager. As everyone can see, of course, powered by BetVictor, our title sponsors of this show. You can sign up to your free account now. The links to do that are inside our description below. Bet £5 and get a £30 free bet on top. The odds are shortening massively, as you can see, 4 to 5 on to be Antonio Conte. The likes of Rodgers, Zidane, now at 10 to 1s. That's really stretched from the other day. It does feel from people putting their money on it. People really believe it's going to be Antonio Conte. Does anybody see a curveball in it? Because we already put a bet in the last show on it being Antonio Conte on better odds than this. So I don't want to do that. Does anyone feel that it could be somebody else at this point?
Pochettino. Oh, and I'm a bit worried about that one, because obviously as a Spurs fan I would hate that, but there's a lot of rumblings that Poch isn't doing that well at PSG. The players aren't happy with him, and obviously United have always flirted with Poch in the past.
It's not
so if he becomes,
it's not rumblings.
It's not. Yeah, it's true. It's not rumblings. We're seeing it for ourselves, aren't we? So if Poch was to become available, I think for United that would be a very attractive proposition.
We talked about that yesterday, and Terry didn't want him because I don't want a failure. I don't want a failure. Well, no, he's somebody that the Glazers could push around, because he's definitely not the type that's going to push back. He'll play attractive football, and he has Premier League experience.
Hang on, and you're mocking me for not wanting him. You literally just give me a reason.
You didn't want it.
No, I don't.
Any Man United fan who wants Pochettino is wearing the biggest rose-tinted glasses I've ever seen.
No,
Because-
Danny, do you know what it is, bruv? You're a boy from London like my boy, man from London like me. Same as Patty, same as Neeks. Do you know who the Poch boy, the Poch fanboys are? They're your boy that's got the Gucci belt but is drinking water in the club. And you boys know you're from the same manners as me, bruv. You know that guy.
Yeah.
You know the boy that's like dancing in the corner. He ain't got no drink. Girls asking. He starts chatting to a girl and he's like, "Boy, can I borrow 20 quid because I got to buy her a drink?" That man, that's Poch fan.
Poch is literally, the guy that you literally mod up in the game. He's just Ollie level 2. He's not taking you any further than Ollie has done.
But this is
you need the level 10 guy. You can't get this upgraded version of the guy you have now. Like, it makes no sense.
the certain Man United fans who are so hell-bent on being right, and they wanted Poch a year ago, 18 months ago, that they're going to be adamant. If Poch becomes available, he's the right man. And that's because I said it 18 months ago. Yeah, but we're 18 months down the line, and we didn't get him 18 months ago. He's failing at PSG right now. Let's keep it 100.
Yeah, he is.
You got to take it for what it is. Now, I fear that if he was to get sacked from PSG, we would go in for him
100
immediately.
Definitely.
Immediately, because we wanted him X while ago. We're not really even studying what's going on at PSG. It's just like, oh, Poch is available. He must be the same man that we wanted when he was flying with Spurs. He's not. I can't
take. For me, it's this. We've tried the experiments with Moyes and LVG and Ollie. I know LVG and Jose were past their best when we brought them in my view, and we know that because of what they've done since as well. It's true. LVG's retired. I think he might have come out of retirement, but what's he done? It isn't like he rejoined Bayern Munich and won the major trophies. Jose went to Tottenham and was even worse. He's doing all right now at Roma, but let's see what happens. Like, for me, they're both past their best, and we know that because they've done nothing afterwards. In my view, let's just take a manager that wins, who is at the peak of his powers. Let's do what Chelsea, City, and Liverpool have done. All three of our biggest rivals in the contemporary sense of the word all went and got managers at the peak of their powers or just coming into their best. That's what we need to do. We've taken a risk twice, and we bought two old racehorses that are past their best.
Is Zidane a risk to you?
No, Zidane's not a risk.
He's as big a risk as Klopp, Tuchel, or maybe not Guardiola, but Klopp or Tuchel at the time when they got them.
Yeah, absolutely. I think he's of that ilk.
Because you never know what's going to happen. You can't predict the future.
I hear that.
Can I just say, sorry, in terms of answering the question, in terms of next manager, on a outside bet, obviously it depends when he gets sacked. If it's like this weekend, then I think Antonio Conte option increases. If it's, when I say this weekend after the Spurs game, if it's, let's say a month down the line, he gets a few results and survives and then gets sacked, I think it increases the likelihood of someone like a Laurent Blanc. And I say that, like, I have no idea what this guy's doing, but as an interim, someone to say, all right, this season's finished. Like Ollie, when he came in to take over Jose, let's take it to the end of the year. And hopefully they would actually take it to the end of the year this time and see what options are available. Maybe Pochettino is available. Maybe Ten Hag's available. Maybe someone else has become available. I think at the stage we're in the season right now, Conte is the only one who you can actually go out and get. Nobody else is leaving their job to join Man United right now. I think that's what makes it difficult.
I hear you.
Just to quickly respond to that, the issue with that, though, with Man United and the structure that you have in place, when Chelsea bring in an interim manager, we know he's leaving at the end of the season. If Laurent Blanc comes in and does well, he is saying, I want the job.
But I'm not saying I want this, Daniel.
Daniel, but you know what, bro? But Daniel, what you're talking about, there is I don't know if the right word, I'm not educated enough to know. Is it, when you want something bad to happen, what's that called? Is it sadist or something? Oh, there's a word like that. I don't know what the word is. I forgot it. I'm dumb. I'm a moron. But I almost want that to happen, to be able to go, Glazers, check everyone. I told you what they're about. Like, I almost want bad things to happen so that people focus on the Glaze. Do you get what I mean? I'm at a point where it's like, I need it to go wrong so you guys see it. But I hope it goes right. Who Dares here says, who is the best pound-for-pound manager of the last 30 years? Also, what's the percentage of Tuchel getting sacked at the end of the season? Well,
Tuchel? What? Where did that come from?
Tuchel right now to lose his job is something like 100 to 1. Best manager of the last 30 years. We know the answer to that. It's already done. The man who's won 13 league titles in that time in the Prem. There you go. Is that it there? How do you say that word? I'm dumb. How do you read that?
Macios stick? I don't know, man. That's...
What you saying, Jess? You can read.
I can, but I'm like masochist.
Masochist.
That word's not. It's not. That's not true. That word means.
Is that not what he meant though? A masochist? Or...
It means sexual gratification.
Oh shit!
Yeah, that's like a say-do. Yeah. I don't, by the way, Man United losing gives me no sexual gratification. You know what I mean? That ain't what I mean. That ain't what I mean. I'm not sitting here when we lose getting a release. I'm like, oh my god, oh, that's so good. No, that is not what I do. No. Don't start twisting that. No, that isn't it at all. Do you know what though, Neeks? You've convinced me there. You've convinced me that I might stick a little outside bet here. Of course, we bet Victor. Just a pound. A very sensible, responsible flutter on Laurent Blanc being the next Manchester United manager. They're 25 to 1. That is placed, as you can see. You can do the same now. The link to the next Man United manager is available in the description below. Go and check it out right about now. Remember, you might miss the boat on this. You might miss the boat on this one if you're not careful. Smash that like button for us, people. Amazing support so far on this show. I hope you're liking the new thumbnail as well. Big up Rob Hand, who designed that for us. Weird Ancelotti never wanted to leave Everton. Real Madrid called and he's gone. Every manager has a price, and we are a well-run club to get anyone within reason. I don't think you can going from Everton to Real Madrid's right now.
It depends on where you're at.
Yeah. It depends. Like,
and we're not honestly, a well-run club.
What about Mikel Arteta? Should we take Mikel Arteta? Should we take Mikel? I mean,
I think he might be better than Ollie, if I'm honest with you.
But you'll be crying, Jess, because like he's
your
manager in the last pound for pound in the last player.
Yeah. Why Steve Bruce isn't on the list? He is perfect for the Man United job. He's a legend and proven Premier League manager.
Perfect.
He is on the list. He's like 100 to 1. You saw it the other day. He's on the list.
It'll stop us getting relegated. Go on, Stevie boy.
I don't know about that. You know.
Go on, Stevie boy. There we go. We're gonna preview Man United, Tottenham, and El Sacico a little bit later. Next, I want to speak Arsenal. Within that, I want to talk about trophies as well. Arsenal versus Leicester this weekend. I want your views. I want your opinions on that. Smash the like button. Let's do it. Arsenal, hang on, before we move forward here, here he is. A whole lot of Elias in the house. What you saying, bro?
That's perfect timing right there, bro.
I know. Excellent timing indeed. Excellent timing indeed. So we're talking Leicester versus Arsenal. I think a really big and important game this weekend for Leicester, that seem to be on a bit of a run in the league. A couple of wins, smash Man United, climbing up the table. Arsenal, have they gone under the radar? And I have to ask that question with real, genuine sincerity. Statistic here put out today. It was focusing on attacking Man United, but it also praised Arsenal at the same time. In the last 20 games in all competitions, nobody has a better defensive record in terms of clean sheets than Arsenal. Unbeaten since their opening 3 games of the season, which is a fact. Progressing to the quarterfinals of a cup competition. Only 1 game per week. Arsenal fans feeling very, very positive indeed. As we look ahead of Leicester versus Arsenal, do you think... NEEKS. I'm going to go to NEEKS first. Do you think Arsenal have been somewhat overlooked? No, I want to speak to some rivals.
See how
first.
he doesn't go to me first when it's an Arsenal question.
Okay, all right. Okay, do you know what?
To set the narrative.
No, I'm asking a rival here. Whoa. The question is for rivals. The question is for rivals, Jess. Oh, why are you coming to me? It's my club.
I should go first.
If you let me finish the question, please, Jessica.
Okay.
NEEKS, have rivals underestimated Arsenal somewhat?
You probably have to say yes to an extent. It's hard sometimes to read between reality and banter. Arsenal are easy to banter. So when you lose 3 games in your first 3, relegation, of course, that's going to be discussed. in reality, we know Arsenal's not going to get relegated. But it's good to discuss it because why not? Innit? It would get people like Jess riled up, sitting above us, even with a smile on their face. But I would say, yeah, they probably have gone slightly under the radar. It depends what we're looking at Arsenal now and saying, are they going to be challenging for top 4? Are they going to be challenging for the league? Because if we're talking about Europa League, then for me, that should have been the expectation at the start of the season. And I say, or at least the target at the start of the season. You can't finish 8th 2 years in a row and then go into the next season, so we're going to finish 8th again. You have to be looking to progress up the table, 7th, 6th, finishing above West Ham as a bare minimum. And you only finished 1 point behind Spurs last year, who got a manager like 2 minutes before the season started. So that should be another target to finish. So that means you're talking top 6. I think they're defensive. I think because of the banter that's gone around with Arsenal, I think it's easy to kind of miss that. You know what? Maybe they are playing better football. Maybe they are defensively a bit stronger, and maybe they have got some decent players like Smith Rowe. Maybe Aubameyang is back on form as well. So yeah, I think they've gone slightly under the radar. But the way some Arsenal fans are looking at that table and thinking it's actually like the league table, I would just tell them temper it down a little bit. You're not all the way back, but you know, good wins in the past few weeks. But you got a big run coming up now, starting with the Leicester game. That in 3 or 4 games we might be looking again, and I'm going to be bantering. And Jess is like, "Why are you coming to me first, as opposed to why you're not coming to me first, isn't it?" So
I just feel like I should go first because
we have to wait and
usually
see.
if
We have to wait and
it
see.
goes to the person who's talking about their club. So not this time though. This time it's a rival.
NEEKS was nice. NEEKS was nice. This is not true. This is Arsenal
What's
fans
not
being
true?
Arsenal fans, which they're allowed to be. They're allowed to dream. That's the beauty of football. If you're not allowed to dream with your club, what's the point of supporting your club? But let's just be honest. Let's look at some of the clean sheets. Leeds, fair enough. This is an all competition. Brighton, a game that Brighton dominated and should have really battered them. It's like Man United claiming the clean sheet against Wolves. Like, it's like, come on, really. If anyone really watched that game, you would know. Wimbledon is one of those clean sheets. Norwich, Burnley. Look, you can only beat what's in front of you, but let's not get excited. Every single season, Arsenal have that run where you think maybe Arsenal are changing the narrative a bit. And maybe there is something added extra bit of incentive in their corner where they're only playing once a week. Arsenal will finish in the top 6, top 7 this season, which will be a good upgrade from what happened last season. They get back into Europe. They are able to play in a European competition and potentially win. But let's not get excited. Like, let's be honest and let's call it for what it is. It's good to see Aubameyang. If you're an Arsenal fan, it's good to see Aubameyang getting back on the score sheet. It's good to see some players getting back to full fitness. Obviously, you've got a back 4, back 5 if you include Ramsdale that you really, really like. But come on, man, let's be real now. Let's not put what's the phrase? Put the wool over your eyes and make yourself dream so much that you forget that you're in a dream and you start saying that you're gonna get into the top 4 and things like that. I mean, there was the fan the other day who said you've got a better squad than Man United. I mean, come on, let's just.
I think Terry said gone under the radar for Europe. I think earlier on when the season first started, because Europe is all the way down to I think 7th place, right? And we didn't make Europe at all. So when we're talking about Europe, I think you're talking about a very small percentage of Arsenal fans who usually get on social media and say big things and get big responses like 4th place. Nobody thinks that. I don't think we're going to make top 4. But before the season started, I came on this channel and several other channels, and people said that we would finish 10th, 12th, far, far down the table. And I think at this point, based on what we've done so far, a unbeaten record that regardless if you say like we're playing Brighton, we're playing so-and-so, it still counts regardless. Aston Villa was supposed to be way better than us. We battered them. So you have to keep that in mind as well. And we've already played Chelsea and Man City. West Ham hasn't played any of the top teams. Leicester's only played one of them. Everton hasn't played anybody yet. And we're kind of all right in that same area. So when we're talking about Europe, we're talking about top 6. And I would say that because we're not in Europe and we're able to rotate a little bit more, Aubameyang was one of the biggest factors to why we suffered so much last season. He looks like he's on form. So Europe, meaning 6th and above, for me, is very much in our eye line. Like, I think it's something that we can do. Will we do it? It depends on our consistency. But you guys aren't getting fourth. The majority of us don't think that, and based on the teams that are there, there's 3 secure places in the top 4. And then there's one that I feel like could either go to Manchester United or West Ham based on what happens with Manchester United. But those next 2 spots are going to be between us, Leicester, and probably Spurs. I don't think Spurs are doing anything at the moment that would let you think that they're on the upward trajectory. And this weekend will be a big litmus test to see how we match up against Leicester. And the last time we played them, we beat them 3-1. So Europe is very much so realistic for us, regardless to all this like, well, you're not really at the top of the table. You don't really do this. You don't really do that. We are improving. And that shows with our defensive record. We just need to keep scoring goals. So yeah, Europe.
I hear you on that. Look, the clean sheet record. Yeah, there's always going to be some games in there that I remember when Man United beat Arsenal 1-0 at the Emirates and David De Gea pulled off ridiculous saves. There was a very famous Man United Spurs game that Man Like Expressions, big up yourself, coined the phrase David De Gea as if he was 3 goalkeepers. And so there are sometimes you get clean sheets where you may not necessarily deserve the clean sheet. Lies, we can talk about the game in a few moments. Actually, we'll talk about the game now, to be fair, when it comes to this. How do you think Arsenal are going to fare away at the King Power this forthcoming weekend?
This is a really big game. Oh, shit. Here I am full screen. This is the first time I've gotten this. Yeah, it's going to be a really interesting game because Leicester kind of started the season a bit poorly. They're starting to pick things up now. 2 wins on the bounce against Manchester United, against Brentford, excuse me. I think Jess is honestly downplaying Arsenal a bit, to be honest with you. I think that they are in this top 4 race, and I wouldn't have said that a few weeks ago because I honestly expected Manchester United were going to get their shit together eventually. But it looks like they're on a complete downward spiral. And to say that West Ham are top 4 contender, but not Arsenal, I would be humble too. I would be kind of hesitant to big up Arsenal too much based off what we've seen the last few seasons. But I honestly believe that they are right in this race. Them, Leicester, West Ham, and Manchester United, unless maybe Spurs I don't think are in that race. I'm impressed by Arsenal right now. And I think that this game against Leicester here will really be decided by the managers, as it often is, Brendan Rodgers and Mikel Arteta. And I've seen a lot of people kind of making their tier list for managers. Where does Arteta rank? Where does Rodgers rank? Arteta, I think his reputation is starting to grow amongst the public again. So if he can beat Brendan Rodgers this weekend, I think it's a massive result for Arsenal, obviously. And I think that will kind of be the game that will let people know. I said it on your show the other week, Terry. I said Arsenal will beat Aston Villa. I'm pretty confident. And everyone on the panel was like, nah, they're about to lose. I think even you said this is going to be the game that people completely give up on Arteta. I think there's something there with this Arsenal team. And I wouldn't have said that before United basically went on this terrible run. But I think top 4 is a real possibility. And if they can beat Leicester this weekend, I don't know how you can dispute it.
Patrick, I don't know if you're gonna come in, but they're disrespecting your club, bro.
I didn't want to be rude, so I wanted to hear
Tottenham aren't even informed, and they're above Arsenal, who are supposed to be informed.
I was gonna say that, but I just didn't want to seem biased and like sort of Tottenham Arsenal.
Oh, no,
that's mental. That's what I'm saying. Right Arsenal are meant to be in the form of their life, top goalkeeper this, back 4, back 5 that, blah, and we're still above them. And we ain't even played yet. We ain't even started to play. So I'm a bit surprised that Lies is saying that. But it's his opinion. But I'm shocked. I can't lie. It's a bit mad. Still.
Let me stick up for Tottenham as well. You've got a 100 million someone who doesn't even want to be there, who in my opinion will go through a period of form this season where he will single-handedly win games for them as well. So if you personally, I do agree with you guys. Don't believe Tottenham are in the top 4, but if you're saying Arsenal are in the top 4 race, Tottenham are also in the top 4 race alongside all those other clubs. Fair enough, you want to talk about Arsenal. I'm hearing Arsenal fans talk about the rotation now that they can have in their side because they're playing once a week. But when they had to use certain players at the beginning of the season, what we heard was the injuries. We need to wait for our players to come back. So now that you've got your first team and you're playing in the form of your life, it's now easy to say like we look good, Arteta's got a plan and whatnot, which I won't argue against. Look, that's fair enough. I think Arteta is improving the team. I think defensively you definitely have improved. I think Gabriel has definitely taken a step up as well. I'm not going to sit here and say there's no positives. Of course there are. Arsenal have looked like a better team, and against Aston Villa especially, you made them even change their style. Aston Villa played a back 5 for some reason, and they felt the need to do that because of how Arsenal had been playing. However, let's not like blow the horn over the rooftops and make it seem like Arsenal are this revolutionary side that a pastor has suddenly laid hands on them and they suddenly turn into this team that can turn over any side. Like I think there are a number of clubs in that race, but personally, you're saying Arsenal are in the top 4 race, Tottenham also are as well.
And you can add them. You can add them in. That's the thing. It's so wide open between West Ham, Leicester, maybe Everton if you rate them, Spurs, and Arsenal. And I don't think you can say definitively based on anything. The only reason why any of these teams are in the top 4 race is because Man United is not performing to the best of their ability.
Yeah,
then when you get to that next level, it's so freaking close. So if you try to take Arsenal out, then you have to take everybody out.
Yeah, I don't
None
think
of us
I
are
don't
that
think
much
Arsenal,
better than anybody else.
Yeah.
And quite frankly, I'm sorry, but Spurs, there's not really that much of a level that I think you guys can go up. I think we have a higher ceiling and you guys are quite close to yours. So
No way.
I think that's why
Bars.
people,
No way. No way.
Bars.
Why do you think, I mean, why do you guys
don't
think that people don't rate you guys that much? I'm not trying to be rude. What I'm trying to say is just like, we're not even performing to our highest level and we can get better based on the players that we have. Your players are literally at the top of what they can probably do, barring Kane start scoring more. Because your players are just not that. They're just not that good. I don't know who needs to tell you this, but your team is just not that good.
Oh,
I'm
come
sorry.
on. I mean, if you got to rate everyone with the same stick. You're saying that you guys aren't playing that well, but So that's the same for Tottenham, Everton, Aston Villa. I don't think any of these teams are in the top 4 race. As I said on Monday, I think the top 4 was pretty much set, and then you've got 5th to 8th where we're all bunched in. I don't see why Arsenal all of a sudden are on this upward trajectory and everyone else isn't. Kane.
Nobody said that. That's
because
the
you
thing
said
because,
no, but you said your team is
that.
You said your team, every player can raise their levels, but our players can't. But we've got a lot of players that would easily walk into your team. So I don't really understand.
Not really. Not really. I'm sorry. Not really.
Lloris,
Not really.
Reguilon, they all walk into your team. Endombele,
Reguilon.
Yeah,
Reguilon. Are you joking?
Yeah, I'm serious.
Viewers, I'd love to gauge. I'd love to gauge what viewers think on this. I think for me, when it comes to Arsenal, is there's definitely been some improvements. I see that. What I love, and I'm not calling out any particular guys or ladies I see on socials, it's 1 minute, it's the manager's got to go, this is awful, and a couple of good performances later, and it's we're building something special. I just want to see people nail their flags to the mast a little bit more and be like, do you know what? We're building something special. Therefore, a couple of bad performances should not ensue a meltdown. Those two things, if you're building something special, you can put up. It's like Chelsea fans. Chelsea could lose this weekend. There won't be meltdowns from the vast majority because they know what they're on the road to brilliance. Liverpool fans had a bad season by their standards last year and didn't really turn on Klopp because they knew something. There's the potential for something else that's great. I'll say this to any Arsenal fan. And one thing I would say about Curran and George and these Arsenal guys
is that... call out people specifically.
No, but I am because I'm praising them here. They've said top 4 all year and bad results haven't changed their minds. There are other Arsenal fans that have been on this platform and others where 1 minute it's something great could happen here. The next minute it's the manager's got to go. I just want to see them nail their flags to the mast and say, like, I don't think Arteta's the right guy long term, but I think we need him right now while he's nurturing his youngsters. He's great at that. I feel like depending on the result, that's what I mean. I stand by it. If you get beat badly by Leicester this week, there's going to be this huge shift into the manager's got to go. The following week, you win 3-0 and it's something special is happening here. I'm just confused that the fan base's ability to. It's not changing your mind. It's legitimate flip flopping. If you say Arteta's good enough, and in 18 months go, do you know what? 18 months down the line, I've decided he's not. That ain't a flip flop. That's changing your mind. Saying he should be sacked on a Monday evening when you get outplayed by Palace, and saying that something great is being built on a Saturday when you beat on a Friday when you beat Villa.
Are you talking about me? Are you saying
no?
Me?
If I'm talking about you, Jess, I'll say you.
You, Jess.
Oh, but hold on. Let me just say this really quick. On social media, usually when results don't go well, people that don't like Arteta start piping up. Then when we play good, people that like Arteta start piping up. So really, again, you have to look and see if it's specific people flipping from one to the other.
No, it is specific people. I ain't calling anyone. It is specific people, and I mean legit like individuals going. Arteta inners and Arteta outers, they do what they do. I leave those guys. I'm just confused, and that what leads me to think is it makes me challenge whether certain Arsenal fans genuinely believe there's progression or if they're saying it because it's the way the wind is blowing. And for me, I think there has been some. The jury's still out whether Arteta is going to be good enough or not. I still think more games are needed to see. But in terms of this weekend, Jess, are you beating Leicester? Leicester are the favourites for this game, by the way, as you can see with the odds there from Bet Victor below.
They should be. I mean, they're at home, and for a lot of people, they're viewed as a better team based on the last 2 years. They have been. So I would say we go into it as underdogs, but I would expect us to win the game 2-1. I think we're going to beat them. I think our defense is better. I think Aubameyang scores a goal. You know, I think we'll be fine. At the very least, I think we draw. I don't think we'll lose the game. We have a very good record against Leicester, so they're not usually a team I go into thinking, wow, we're going to get killed. So, yeah.
So you're confident. You sound confident in terms of that. How about predictions from everybody else? Daniel, what you going with as a result?
Look, I'm going with Leicester, man. Look, I understand the Arsenal are great and whatnot, but if we want to talk about upward trajectory, Leicester probably have the biggest green right now, and they're on by themselves. So Daka's looking better. I was questioning him a lot at the beginning of the season, technique-wise and all of that kind of stuff, but he started to come into his own. I mean, they took off Vardy. I forgot what game it was. They took off Vardy and brought on Daka, and he got the assist for the winner in that game. I forgot what game it was. Yeah, the last game. So yeah, there's a lot of good things. Tielemans is looking very, very good now. Yeah, man, Tielemans, that's my guy, man. He's looking very, very sweet right now. So yeah, man. Long story short, going with Leicester.
There we go. How about NEEKS?
It's a close one. It's a very close one. I think both teams are, let's say, last 4-5 games in all competitions. They're both playing well. Leicester's scoring goals. They was a 2-2 just gone. They won 4-3 in the Europa, 4-2 against Man United, and 2-1 in between all of that, I think, against Brentford. And that was away. A lot of teams have seemed to struggle away to Brentford. So I think they got Johnny Evans back, which is a big help in their defense because they have struggled defensively this season. I'm tempted to go for a draw, but I want Arsenal to lose, so I'm going to go Arsenal. Arsenal to lose. Leicester 2-1, yeah.
Interesting. Lies?
I'm going to keep it short and simple. I think it's going to be a draw, to be honest with you. I think both sides are kind of... Leicester have looked better as of late, but I still see frailties in that team, to be honest with you. And I think Arsenal, momentum is a powerful thing in sports, and I think it's going to keep them unbeaten for at least another game. So I got probably 1-1.
Pat?
I think this is going to be a tight game, you know. Arsenal are in good form. They are looking good. I hate to say it, I've got to just call it how I see it. But Leicester are also on the upward curve. They're at home. Daka's looking very, very good at the moment. Vardy can always bang a goal or two. Tielemans is a wavy baller. I'll probably say Leicester 2-1, but I think Arsenal will give them a good game. It will be tight.
Yeah, interesting. I'm gonna put one of my bets on here. Of course, powered by Bet Victor. As you can see, the really good boosted bet on here. Kelechi Iheanacho to score the first goal there, 5-1. I quite like that. You know, I'm going to put that one on first. I'm just going to put a little £2.50 stake on Iheanacho to get the first goal. It's boosted by Bet Victor to 5-1. That is on. But in terms of the result, I actually want to look at correct score here. Jess, what was your guess? Prediction, sorry.
2-1 Arsenal.
2-1 Arsenal. That comes in at 21-2. That's very good odds. Very good odds indeed. I'm going to go with you on this, Jed. You seem very, very confident in Arsenal. So that is what I'm going to put in there. If I go to the bet slip, I don't know what I've just done there. This is sometimes where I struggle. I'm going to refresh this screen as I take this off. I just clicked on the wrong button. I put something up and I don't know how to get it off. There we go. We're live doing this. These things can happen. There we go. Right. I've got that.
Lucky it was nothing dodgy.
Yeah, that's what gives me my release. Do you know what I mean? That's what we call that once today. Today you can see it in the betting slip. I'm going to put £2 on Arsenal to win 2-1 in this game. If you fancy doing the same, get to the link in the description below now. Get yourselves across to Bet Victor, or you might fancy a different correct result for this game. I've put that on, as you can see, that's £2. I put my money where my mouth is. 2-1 to Arsenal, correct score, of course, in the 90 minutes, as it is a league game. There's a super chat here that says Spurs players walking into the Arsenal 11. Yeah, sure. Because Arsenal players will walk out in disgust.
Højbjerg gets in as a DM. Obviously, Harry Kane 100% starts. Son definitely starts. Reguilon starts, and Lloris will
No, he doesn't.
Yeah, but those are the players that walk in.
Ramsdale is better than Lloris,
regardless,
honey.
So yeah, that's
Please.
That's what I'm saying. And from last season, you can see
that's cute. That's cute.
It's cute.
Whenever Arsenal have gone against a good team, they get blitzed. Stop hyping yourselves for beating Norwich, Burnley, Wimbledon. Jamie Vardy hat-trick is what Joshua Jackson
Let's go. Well done, Josh. I love that.
I love how you just missed out Aston Villa, the team that was going to be in Europe and was going to be way better than us. You just magically took that one out.
Well,
that's cute. It's cute. It's cute. I see how you do. I see how
Clean
you
sheet.
No one even spoke. No one even spoke, did they, about the fact? I mean, such a big rivalry derby as well between you and Villa as well. I call it the Buendia derby. Do you know what I mean? The Buendia derby.
It's the Buendia ESR derby.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. Up next, ladies and gentlemen, we are talking El Sacico, Tottenham versus Manchester United, live on the Bet Victor Top 6 show. Just under 500 likes. Get that button hit. Subscribe to the Terrace. Let's do this. Neeks' face tells me already. He's just like rubbing them eyes already. Frank Butcher style. Neeks, El Sacico. Just give me your thoughts ahead of this. I don't even know what type of game to refer to this as, but it feels. I just feel pain when I look at it. Where's your head at ahead of this big game against Tottenham?
Damned if we do and damned if we don't. We're so badly run that our manager's job is resting on the result of this game. They say 3 games, but if he loses to Spurs, he's gone. But if he wins against Spurs, he stays. Like, you must know after nearly 3 years whether he's good enough or not. He's either good enough and he doesn't need 3 games to prove it, or he's not good enough and 3 games aren't going to change that. Like, make your mind up. Stop sitting on the fence. Of course, I want us to win. First and foremost, I don't even trust the board to sack him anyway. So people thought that if we lose to Liverpool, he's going to get sacked. We got battered by Liverpool, and he's still here. Yet you're going in. You're going to be wishing that we lose the next 10 games because he might still be here after losing 9. Like, I want us to win. I want us to win badly because we need to win. I don't care who the manager is. It could be him. It could be Gary Neville. It could be me, you. Jess could be managing, and I still want us to win. I like Jess. But
I'd have y'all winning. That's the real.
Well, yeah, maybe until we play Arteta. But no, I think we will win because Spurs are bad. It doesn't mean
Speak, Neeks. They are bad.
It just doesn't mean anything. Like, it means something for 3 points, which is very important. Yeah. It means something going into the Atalanta game, which is very important. But what does it mean for the season? It means that we're still going to be up and down and up and down until we're just in the same position that we ended last year. So I go into this game just feeling very bland. I'm not
mate, that's a great word for it.
It
is bland. Lies, let me ask you this question, mate. As a Man United fan, do you want to win or do you want to lose this game?
Terry, I want Manchester United for the first time in my life this weekend to lose. And I don't want them to lose so Ollie goes out. I want Manchester United this weekend to lose so that the Glazers somehow look even more embarrassed and even more shit than they did last week, the week before that, the year before that, and the year before that. Because if you cannot lose a game, if you can lose a game 5-0 at home to your greatest ever rivals, and you can have 1 point in 12, and you can be on the verge of going out in Europe, and your season is done in October, and the manager is still safe, at this point, Terry, like you said, it is no longer on the manager. It's no longer on it. You can take away the focus on it. It should be completely on the board. And for me, them winning this weekend almost justifies the decision that they just made this weekend. And people can call me plastic in the comment section all they want. I don't care. The board needs to be held responsible at this point. And for me, the only way that's going to happen is them losing, because then all the attention goes on them. How the hell could you keep a manager another week? If they win against Spurs, what do we gain from that? 90 minutes of happiness. Maybe
3 points. You gain 3 points.
What will it lead to? 3 points.
Lias, you know what? I understand your train of thought. I do, and I'm one of these. I'm in a space where I don't want us to lose. I'm not in the same mindset as you, but I get where you're coming from. Like, I don't have any. You will get ill feeling from some when we clip that bit up, like when we put it out on socials. Expect some heat. Like, I'm just saying, like, no. But what I'm saying is, I get you. I get you.
I came to your show on Sunday against Liverpool. Did I want to win or lose? I wanted to win. I wanted to beat Liverpool bad, bro. Even though most people would lead if they lost to Liverpool. I'm past that, bro.
No, listen, but I hear where you're coming from. I want to speak to Patrick about this. Now, Spurs are in the weirdest form ever. You're not playing great at any times, but you're winning quite a few. You're losing quite a few. How do you feel, though, playing... Because Spurs are not being discussed in the build-up to this game. It's all the focus is on Oli, Man United, the Glazers, Conte, etc. How do you feel as a Spurs fan going into this game? Do you feel as if this makes it easier because there's such turmoil? Or are you concerned that maybe your players take it too easy? Where's your head at with playing Man United this weekend?
Listen, I'm worried. I can't lie. I think that we're not being spoke about in a positive light because we're not playing good football. We're not a good team at the moment. I didn't want Nuno in the summer. And, you know, people were telling me I was being negative because I was saying, basically, I had the hashtag no to Nuno. And he's pretty much proved me right. Everything I've said so far is what we're seeing. Tactically so poor, doesn't know how to manage a game, never makes substitutions, just doesn't know what he's doing. There's no game plan. There's no tactics. There's no setup. Are we a defensive-minded team? No. Are we an attack-minded team? No. We're still on a minus, 3 or 4 goal difference. We're a crap team, man, and I'm actually worried. I know Man United are in the mud. I know we're above Arsenal right now, but it's not really a positive because we're still not doing well either. And I'm kind of worried. I can't lie. I think that we're going to lose. I hate to say it, but with everything that's being said and done, Ollie's back's against the wall. He loses, he's out, blah, blah, blah. I just think that Ollie's going to have do a masterclass on us. You guys will win quite comfortably. And then the talk will obviously shift from Ollie being sacked to Nuno being sacked. So yeah, I'm a bit worried, man. I don't really go into this game with any confidence. And obviously for justified reasons. We're not really scoring a lot of goals. Defensively, we're not really, there's no patterns of play. There's no exciting passages. Yeah, we've got some good players, but I don't really see anything to be confident about right now. I hope I'm wrong, but I just got to be honest, man.
Can I just say quickly, like, I completely disagree that any fans would want their team to lose to get a manager sacked. I mean, there might be bigger reasons, like if we lose the Glazers sell, I think that might be something worthwhile. But I think getting a manager sacked by owners who we don't even trust, because we might lose, and he's like, no, we said 3 games. He's still got Atalanta and Man City, and here we are, just 3 points further down the table. But what I would say is a draw is worse. It is the worst result, because I would take a loss over a draw, but I always want my team to win, because a draw means that we're 1 point. Spurs will still be above us. Arsenal might go above us. West Ham might go above us. And Ollie's still here. And nothing changes. I want my team to win. I think we will win. But for me, the draw gets both parties out of the mire. The Glazers can say, well, we didn't lose this game, and Ollie can say, well, you know, we picked up from the loss to Man City, we're on the right track. There's just no progress in a draw. It's terrible. It's terrible. Yeah. And I think the situation we're in is all down to the owners. It's all down to the owners.
Yeah, no, 100%. I mean, firstly, West Ham are already above you.
I was going to say
that.
Damn.
Well. Yeah. Oh, damn. So that's
and then also, look, mean, I couldn't sympathize. You know what? I don't sympathize with you guys. You had NEEKS getting onto Lukaku. How many weeks ago? Now that seems a long time ago, and he's on the same amount of goals as Ronaldo whilst he's out injured. But that's
why do you have to throw that in?
The symbol, and do you know what it is? It's rich, and I'm happy that United fans are sad. It's rich. Obviously, you lot have highlighted these things, and obviously, I'm not blaming you. None of you guys are in charge of Man United, and obviously, this is not even to trigger anyone. But the symbol of incompetence of the Glazers. You've had Man United fans talk about the incompetence when it comes to Arsenal in terms of how they run their club, in terms of they've given their input on Liverpool and FSG. They've even given their input on Chelsea and how the revolving door of managers. I've seen a lot of United fans speak about that how that's never sustainable and whatnot. But it's rich in terms of incompetence. The symbol of incompetence for me is Paul Pogba being an academy product at Man United, leaving the club on a free, you signing him for a world record fee, and he can now leave on a free again. That is. And obviously that won't be spoken about yet, but let's call a spade a spade. Pogba probably doesn't start at the weekend again. He's currently not even in the starting lineup.
Oh yeah, he's out. He got a red card. He's out.
So great. You now get to December. January is when he can start negotiating with clubs. Who's to say that Ollie's not still in the job by December? Because that is very, very possible. Because all it takes is you're talking about 3 games. You talk about, let's say he beats Tottenham, he beats Atalanta. And then maybe you get a draw, or you could even lose to Man City.
Oh, he'll still be in the job. There's
an international break. By the time we come back from the international break, we're already in December. So, bro, it's a very, very long road for United fans. So I don't really get onto you for wanting Ollie to lose, because maybe that's what you need.
Yeah, maybe. Do you know what it is for me? I want to win for the sake. I want to win because I want to win, and I can't. I'm trying to convince myself I want Man United to lose, and I can't do it. So I'm not going to lie, but I feel like losing comes with a silver lining. It either gets Ollie removed and a better manager in, or we lose and Ollie stays, and it shows the Glazers up more. What you just brought on there, Danny, I said it on my show this morning when speaking about Paul Pogba. People are like, oh, he's this, he's that. He hasn't always performed. I'm like, cool. Let's just say I agree with most rivals that he's been a flop. It shows you even more how stupid the Glazers are when 2 years ago we turned down a 50, 60 million pound bid for him. At that point, if he wasn't willing to sign a new deal, we should have sold him, cashed in, and bought elsewhere. People say they spend a lot of money on players, though, because they have to, because they waste so much money. We're only spending over $1 billion because we keep getting it wrong. They have to, because they have to have players, right? And that's what happens. So with Paul Pogba, when all is said and done, we could have got 50, 60 million pound in for him. We haven't. We've ended up paying him X amount per week, 200-300 grand a week, including his image rights. He's going to leave for free. And to get in an adequate player, we are looking at Declan Rice. Let's say it is Declan Rice. The total package is 120, 130 million quid. Now, you could have offset some of that by selling Paul Pogba 2 years ago. As an example, raising 50, 60 million pounds. Sorry?
I don't think he's been a flop.
I'm not I don't think he's been a flop. I'm just going with the narrative of rivals.
Yeah,
if he's been a flop, people try and say it ain't the Glazers, they bought him, but he's the flop. It's like, so by your logic, you've got a flop player that we've hemorrhaged 300 grand a week on for the past 2, 3, 4 years. So by your own logic, if Pogba's shit, the Glazers are idiots because they've kept him. Like, that's my point. That is my point. The problem with banter, is when you banter too much, banter ends up like hypocrisizing itself because it goes full circle like that. And for me, the only reason I want to lose is to show up all the blue ticks, all of the Glazer simps, all of the Man United fans who are sort of like, no, but there's no one else who can come in right now. Even promoting somebody from the youth as the academy manager won't make things easy. Let me tell you a little saying that's come out this week from the Times. I trust the Times not to be lying, all right? Call me stupid. I'm trusting the Times. I'm trusting Jamie Jackson at The Guardian. McKenna all week trains the team to play style A. Compact. Hard to break down. Counter-attack against Liverpool. Saturday afternoon, team meeting. Ollie's like, we're going on the press, boys. We're out on the press. We don't press, though. We ain't trained to press. We never trained to press. We barely do any pressing work, not just this week, but at all in training. Why are we pressing? It's fantastic. Press. This is what he does. The team go out there and press. It's shit. We lose. Of course, sacking Ollie would help. Even if McKenna was managing the team, at least on the Saturday, we go out and we play how we trained. With the quality of players we've got, if we play how we train all week, the possibility of winning is increased tenfold as far as I'm concerned. So the part of me that I don't want to lose, but if we do,
Did you see?
it ain't going to be the what. It's going to show everybody the incompetence of this board by letting Ollie stay in this job any longer. And I don't want to get on Ollie because I still love and respect him as a Man United legend. He ain't some super sub. He ain't some cult hero. He's a legit, bona fide Man United legend. But the fact he's still here for this game is gross negligence.
Did you see his presser where he was like, they asked him, Carl Anka asked him, "Oh, what's your style of play?" And obviously, it's a good question so that the fans can see. And then he's obviously like, now, well, the most important thing for me is your passion. I need to see you running. I need to see you work hard. And you just think, like he said, he basically said, and this is how I know that it's got to be a joke now. Like there's something wrong with your board, because if I'm sitting on the board as a football guy and I'm listening to that, I'll think, have I hired a 5-year-old? He basically said that they asked him, what are your tactics? So they wanted him to break down the tactics. And he said, I think we spend too much time focusing on the little niches, the little tactics. Those are the things that win you the game. Those are the things that help you get better as a team. Passion can only take you so far. Passion, yeah, literally, like it's like when people talk about talent is only that saying about working hard and all. Working hard shouldn't even be in the discussion. It shouldn't. If someone tells me your attribute is working, if someone tells me one of their biggest attributes is working hard, I'll be like, so, like I expect that. Do you know what I mean? So I just think, if we're being serious now, and I'm taking off my banter hat, like it's actually, come on, bro. Like who is in the job now? Like you're taking the.
But this is why. This is a part of the reason. That press conference was actually a little while ago. It wasn't his recent one. Apparently, there were those rumors that Carl Anka wasn't allowed in press conferences after. I think that was a bit false, but it was actually maybe a month or so ago. However, if we're talking about about the board incompetence, the board, even if it's about a month ago, that's still going to raise some questions like, Ollie, what's going on here? To want your team to lose for the hope that these incompetent board and owners will get in the right man, who we just said 30 minutes ago is the wrong man, i.e. Antonio Conte. When people are saying Conte out or Laurent Blanc out or McKenna out in 12 months, remember that you were hoping your team lost 12 months ago. One second. Like 2.5 years ago, when people were saying, I want us to lose to Newcastle because news came out that if we lost, Jose would have been sacked. Well, here we are. The person that they sacked Jose for, who was supposed to be an interim, who they hired permanently 3 months later, is now who we're saying needs to go. Now, don't get me wrong. Ollie needs to lose his job. We need to replace him. But to want your team to be sacked, or your manager to be sacked, it's not like Chelsea when you know that the person that you bring in is going to be successful. You can't even back your board and owners to do that. So you're just going to be, you put yourself in a revolving cycle where every 18 months you're going to be like, I want this manager to be sacked, so to lose this game so we can be sacked, because the board that we are putting the faith in is not going to make the right decision. I can't get behind that.
Doug, I didn't say I wanted us to lose so Ollie leave. I specifically opened it up, if you listen, by saying I want United to lose so that the Glazers basically have egg on their face. I literally just said, against Liverpool, I went into that game wanting to win. Against Atalanta, I went into that game wanting to win. The whole season, I wanted us to win every single game. At this point, like you're correctly saying, hoping that a manager gets fired because of a loss, especially with Man United, is futile, because they've literally shown that after a 5-0 loss, they won't fire the manager. But my point is that loss in itself should have fired him immediately. I just want the Glazers to be completely embarrassed. That's it. I'm not begging for us to lose so that Ollie isn't in a job anymore. If that happens, so be it. I just want the Glazers to be exposed for exactly what they are, and that's negligent, malpracticing owners. That's it. It's nothing to do with Ollie.
I do hear where you're coming from. Their selection here with the super chat. Thank you for all the super chat so far today. It says Ollie's trying to do what Klopp does Why would you test pressing against one of the best pressing teams? Yeah, couldn't agree more with you with that. I missed a super chat earlier from Selection as well that says need. I think he says NEEKS. That says need. I repeat, we need an Ollie win. Too much pressure on my guy. Stress needs to be released, is what Selection also said. But yeah, it's going to be intriguing to see what happens. Jess, what's your take and prediction on this game?
Well, I think Man United are going to win. I don't think the team is going to down tools. Ronaldo told them not to, so I don't think they will. I think you guys will scrape a little win together. The Man United fan base will be devastated. Let me tell you this. I don't think you're as close to an Ollie sacking as you think you are. I think they are dragging their feet because they have no idea what the F they're going to do. And whatever manager they probably really want is sitting in a job, very comfortable and probably not interested whatsoever in coming into this job now. So I could see Man United winning this game. And because again, just like Patrick said, which I'm trying to figure out why you said that you literally, I told you weren't good. And then you turned around and said the same thing. Y'all ain't good. So I don't know what you mean.
We ain't good. We ain't good. Arsenal ain't good. Tottenham ain't good.
But we're on the up,
you know. Oh, come on.
But no, okay. So essentially, I think Man United are going to win this game against the Man United fan base's wishes. He's still going to be here for the next couple of games, you know, but Spurs are dead. You guys will beat them.
You know what?
It's not it's
sorry,
quickly,
Dan.
it's just such a long time. It's just such a long time from when Lee Grant came out and said Ronaldo stopped everyone from eating dessert. And now,
yeah, do you know what? And that is funny. And do you know what though? But do you know what really gets me triggered by that? Proper triggered. It's everyone's laugh. Do you know what I want? Though? I want more of this. More. No. Don't say sorry. It's my show, but you guys can do what you want. Jesus Christ. I want more of this laughter. Because I'm about to say something I'm going to end up regretting. If we bring in the right manager, if we bring in the right guy that makes it work, I know you're all going to be shitting yourselves with the squad that we've got. All that stuff about Ronaldo making everybody work hard is great. That's all real. It's just the tactics and the way we play under this manager that's making us fail. Enjoy the laughter while it lasts. Because at least when we get a new manager, for about 6 to 8 months, we're going to be brilliant.
Terry, I've been saying
after that, all bets are off.
Oh, you guys are going to get a huge bounce.
I cannot wait. What we basically do every time we go into a new manager is like, it's like that rebound relationship. You know, like the first 6 months is amazing, then all cracks start to appear. I'm just looking forward to that rebound 6 months where it's like you tell everybody the love of your life. No one ever else has made you feel this way before. It's going to be great.
Honeymoon.
And then boom. But yeah, I just can't wait. I can't wait to see when Conte comes in and we beat all of you back to back and we look amazing. You can keep your dessert laughter then. Do you know what I mean? No, I'm only joking. You guys have got every right to laugh because we're an embarrassment right now. We're a proper embarrassment as a football club. Right, let's take a little look, though. Let's take a little look at the odds that are available on this game. Of course, with our title sponsor, Bet Victor. I'm waiting to get this up on my screen. Where's it gone? Where's it out? I'm trying to go back to these games. As you can see, the odds are below me on the screen. Tottenham, Man United. Man United are ever so slight. No, actually, we're not favourites. I think Spurs is almost even, really, in terms of who's going to win this game and who's going to get the draw. NEEKS, what you going with, mate? What you going with? Score predictions. We're going with correct scores. Correct scores.
I want to say 2-0, but we kept one clean sheet in 20.
You're at the bottom of the clean sheet table.
Yeah.
Relegation form.
You're bugging.
Well, here we go. As I said, Arsenal fans took the clean sheet table as the real Premier League table. I knew it. It just took an hour and 15 minutes to get it out. I got 2-1. 2-1 United. Cavani on the score sheet. Cavani needs to start, actually. Save Ronaldo for Atalanta.
Also, so you can press. Because you can't press with Ronaldo.
No. It's just just saving for Atalanta.
Like, it's actually true. All those last previous 20 league games where we didn't keep a clean 20 games, we didn't keep a clean sheet. Ronaldo played in all of them, didn't he? That's why the Ronaldo problem. It's only because Ronaldo's here, we're playing badly. It's like, oh, you've been suckered in. You've been suckered in because using the word Ronaldo in titles of social media content by the mainstream media generates huge amount of volume. He's the most famous. Well, he's got the most followers in the world on social media. So you use his name, people click on it. The press has died because of Ronaldo. Yeah, right. Dickheads. Anyone who believes that is just a dickhead. I'm sorry to say it. Blunt. Dick. Proper. Full on schlong on the forward. Proper. Do you know what I mean? They are, honestly. Honestly. What's your score prediction, Jess?
3-2. Man United.
Jeez, high scoring game. High scoring
Oh,
game.
it's gonna be one of those. It's gonna be one of them sloppy, like just bad defensive optional type games. Like it's gonna be one of those.
What you saying, Lias? What you saying, Lias?
2-1 Spurs. One shit team versus an even worse one.
Boy.
Spurs win 2-1.
Wait, which one's United and which one's Spurs?
Up to you to decide.
This is fun.
Patrick?
All form goes out the window in this El Sacico derby. And I'm saying, because I know we're saying Man United don't keep clean sheets, but I'm going to say 2-0. I hate to say this. I hate that I'm doing this. 2-0 to United, and they're going to keep a clean sheet. I just, I just.
Do you know what?
Guys,
you know
we're
what?
back.
Yeah.
We're back.
That's it. That's what you're gonna get. I know you'll get all the Ollie inners. Will be see. It's okay. You know, Fergie's gonna be there clapping.
Listen,
Back maybe. I
just can see something crazy going on. Like when Ollie's back's against the wall, he always somehow pulls out some sort
Brother,
of
we just lost 5-0 to Liverpool.
Yeah, but
His back wasn't deep against the wall.
This is the game where he needs to get a result, and somehow you lot will get a result. I don't know. Yeah, 2-0.
Bruv, we ain't doing it. Ollie is still holding on to Klopp's pocket. If you get the reference, you know what I mean. Man's holding on to that pocket. Teabag pocket, bro. 100s. What you saying, Danny? What's your prediction, bro?
Nah, man. Look, United will win in it, but it's not. I don't think it's the same as all the other times. You know, when Ollie turns it around and whatnot, it's not the same, man. The feeling is just different as well. You can always tell when a manager's about to be sacked. To you, like, surely, even the Glazers, as bad as they are, they have a breaking point in it. I do think he'll win, but it won't be. It'll be an ugly win. I think that's what I'll go for. An ugly, like 2-1 maybe. Let's go with that. 2-1 win for United.
Yeah, it could be. A comment here says, you want us to lose. Cool. Don't be mad in the future when people do the same towards your favorite manager. Believe in this board's delusion. He's got Joshua Jackson says, why UFC? Says Terry, why would the Glazers sack Ollie? Honest question. Why will they do it? If they feel like top four is unachievable. That's my fear, though, about getting results in these next few games. They go, oh, with the squad we've got, we could still fluke top four. Legit. And that's the most painful bit about this, that they may take that risk. In terms of myself, though, what I'm looking to do, we've got a Football Terrace special this week on BetVictor. The link for that is in the description. It's also pinned to the live chat functionality as well. So go and check that out. My special bet this week with BetVictor is Spurs to win, both teams to score, and due to Man United getting beat again, I'm going with over 4.5 cards in this game. That bet gets you 9-1 odds, exclusive with the Football Terrace and BetVictor. So if you like to have a little bit of a responsible flutter, go with that. Spurs win, both teams to score a goal, and for there to be over 4.5 cards in the game. I can see Man United getting frustrated. I can see more bad tackles. I can see this getting a little bit feisty at the weekend. I'm going to put a £10 bet. I'm going with £10 myself on that to happen. Remember, always gamble responsibly. Don't spend money that you can't afford to lose. I can afford to lose this £10, so be very, very sensible with it indeed. But that is the Football Terrace special this week. Spurs to win, both teams to score, over 4.5 cards in the game. That is locked in. Believe it's going to happen. I don't have the same kind of fear that everyone else thinks Man United are going to win this game. Can't see it for love nor money, although I hope that we do. Go check out those odds with Bet Victor right about now, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, I know that someone says gambling is haram. For some people, absolutely, gambling is not on the agenda, but we do live in a multicultural society, which means some people can, some people can't, but we can all live in harmony together. Don't do it if it's against your religion either. Like, don't do that. Like, we're not encouraging that. You do what's right for you. You know, you're still part of the Football Terrace community with or without a little flutter here and there. Terry has lost a lot of bets in this last. Do you know what, bruv? You said I've lost a lot of bets. Not really. Well, I have lost them, but do you know how I clocked my last 3 specials? Literally, Man United scored against my last week was Liverpool, both teams to score, Liverpool to win, over 4 got 3.5 goals and over 4.5 cards. The only thing that didn't happen was when Ronaldo's goal got disallowed. That would have won me. That was a big one.
Bro, Cavani missed the sitter. Cavani missed the sitter.
Oh, yeah.
I went with Liverpool. Yeah, Liverpool versus Atletico Madrid. I got bumped. I bet Liverpool to win, both teams to score over 3.5 goals. All I needed was the goal from what's his face. No, it was no win. It was just over this amount of goals, both teams to score, and whatever it was. And I'm a liar. Let me get that right. It was Mo Salah to score 2 goals, over 3.5 goals in the game, and Luis Suarez to score at any time. And he was going to take the pen, and they disallowed it. Like, I've had all my specials have been this close to happening. The last 3 have been so close. So, no, I haven't. But listen, when I do have a flutter, I only spend money that I can afford to lose. So it's always fun for me. It's never something I'm stressed about. So make sure when you do have a gamble that you do it as responsibly as you can. So it's always a laugh when you can afford it. Terry, Son is scoring a brace against that crap Man United defense is what Diogo Jota has got to say there.
I hope he's right, man. But I can't see it. I don't know why. I just had that weird feeling that United will turn us over. just don't feel good about this game, man.
Why?
Yeah, that's a weird one to me, bro. It's a weird one to me. We're closing in on 700 likes, ladies and gentlemen, as well. Make sure you're doing that before you leave the stream with us today. We had some other talking points we were going to go into. We'll kind of run out of time, but we can touch on them another day. They're not overtly important. I did want to ask a question actually around winning trophies, but I think we can save that maybe until Monday's the next Bet Victor Top 6 show. Of course, 6 p.m. Mondays, 6 p.m. on what day of the week is it? 6 p.m. on Thursdays as well. My brain's gone. Tomorrow, 1 p.m. Me and Igao are back previewing all the weekend games with our partner, with another one of our partners, and of course tomorrow night in the studio. Big crowd expected for that one. Friday night on the terrace is back. Patrick's going to be there. Daniel's coming along. Got lots of Arsenal, Man United, Tottenham fans arriving. We are still looking for some Leicester fans. If you know a Leicester fan, London-based, get them down to the studio. We do want to be repping everybody in relation to that. Big shout out to Rob Hand, who designed our brand new thumbnails. As you can see, we will get Daniel's picture changed. It does look like he's about to sneeze on that. Yeah. And I also said, can we have NEEKS on the pictures? And they put Sonny in. So it's they obviously picked up on the wrong one. So thank you, Rob, for those brand new designs. It means a great deal to us. Everyone who's tuned in, thank you. Jess, Patrick, Lee S when he arrived, NEEKS, and of course Daniel. Thank you all very much for your input today. El Sakiko this weekend. We want your thoughts. We want your feelings. Until next time, take care.